Now, in different organizations, there are different kinds of people with different mindsets, different orientation from different walks of life. So what I'm just trying to say is there are always different categories of people in an office space, in a workspace, and regardless of the office set down rules, you find people doing certain things that maybe are unethical or things that shouldn't be done, originally, maybe in a bid to come out tops or in a bid to pull their colleagues down. Let's not lie, these things happen. And that's why today we're going to be talking about something very important, which is office politics. Yes, that's right. Office politics. It's about time we talked about it. So before we go straight into the conversation, as you know, Ceed Chat is proudly sponsored by Ceed Academy. And this is where we try to dissect issues that we find in our workspaces on a daily basis. And we try to answer the common questions that people ask regarding employers, employees, management, offices, and all that. But before we do that, I'm going to ask different people what is the most bizarre thing they've seen regarding office politics now that people do and why they think that people do that. Let's take a look. We'll be back.
Okay, so I think office politics is great if it's healthy. Life is about politics. Everything about life has something to do with politics. But as long as it's healthy competition, basically, it's nothing wrong and it should be encouraged.
Office politics is more like nepotism. I don't think it should be allowed. I think everybody should be judged based on their competence and, just climb onto the hierarchy as should be. No politics should be allowed. That's what I think.
Okay, for me, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's almost like competition, asking me what I think about competition. Competition is not good or bad, but it depends on how you go about, competing with your colleagues or whatever your competitors. You have to make sure that whatever you're doing it, in the right way. You're not doing it to spite the other person. You're not fighting dirty. But so long as office relationships are concerned, everybody has their own interests, and office politics simply means that you're trying to protect your own interests, but in the process of protecting your interests, you shouldn't throw other people under the bus. That's basically what I think.
That said, I have with me one who is always ready to give answers to your numerous questions, and that is none other than a managing partner at Certification Edge, a brilliant business consultant, an excellent masterclass guru. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Ajibola Bamidele. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure having you join us.
Thank you very much.
So today we're talking about office politics. So first of all, for the benefit of those who do not understand what it means, what do we mean when we talk about office politics?
Politics, it also depends on your perspective or your perception about what it is. People call it, you use the word now, you said dog eats dog. Mm-hmm. People see it as a disgusting, dirty game and all, but that's not what it is. I feel the name is why people run away from it. But, we run away from what we don't even know. Have you seen some people running before? I said, why are you running? He said, I saw everybody running. And the guy started running because, he said, why are you not running? He said, I just saw everybody running. And we don't sit to question, what's he about? So I see it as something like you building your relationship capital in the place of work. And then creating a kind of influence such that you cannot be fired. Because sometimes people say, let your work speak for you. Put microphone on your word and let's start speaking. It's humans that will speak for you. So those people that matter need to know what you're doing. And that's the only way they can speak for you. You need sponsors. You need people that can speak when it matters. So if the wrong people know how great you are, how would they speak for you? Just watch. Let's imagine that guy. Joseph didn't make that prisoner in the prison. Who will speak on his behalf of the throne? So what Joseph did was that It was politics. Influencing that butler to remember him. So what did he do? We should learn a bit from Joseph and know what he did in the prison, so that when he got to the king, and the kings were there, who can help? The potter remembered. And that's what we call relationship capital. And that's organizational politics. But most times we think it's dirty, it's bad, it's that, it's not my thing. It's part of your thing. If you don't play, you're going to go down.
I mean, truthfully speaking, most times it's perverted, because some people now try to influence, especially the bosses, the ogas at the top, in a way that it's not even just because they are capable of doing the work, and because of how gullible these bosses can be, right? A lot of times when they find someone who will now become their informant, someone who can infiltrate where people are speaking, and then they want to know what people are saying about them. So that person now volunteers to be the informant just so that they become indispensable to the bosses.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why do people go to herbalists? And why do people go to pastors? Why do you go? Because people need miracle.
Okay.
So the same thing that can be used negatively or positive. There's a positive side to everything. So that's why you could see that somebody drops snake, another person drops another good one. So for everything we do, there's a negative and a positive side. Some people can use that same tool and use it in the wrong way. Some people can use it in a positive way. So some use these things, in a negative way, which definitely will bounce back. But at the best of your hard work, politics is also the hard work you need to also do to make your hard work at work work.
Spoken word.
So it's the same. So you can say, oh, I'm done with my work and I've done my bits. I'll get to the top. How many people do you think get to the top, even when they've done all? Somebody said, what makes you the most preferred when everybody's preferred? So now, politics is not for sycophants. It's not for people that cannot do their job, because that's going to kill the business. But now, you're adding value to the business, then you must play politics too, for you to get what you want. So let's imagine there are 10 GMs that have qualified for one role. Who would they pick? And they're all good. Now, the person that is not even doing well will not even qualify, because it's not there. Should not qualify if we want our business to grow. So companies that promote those guys that are not good, they're not doing well because of politics, that's dirty politics. That's not what we're talking about, because the business will fail. But now you're good. Now there are 3 gooders. How will they pick the goodest? So you're asking yourself, it's politics that will make them pick that one person. And I can tell you, most times they make decisions about you when you're not there. The decisions that matter is not really the one. The appraisal, fine, it's fantastic, keeps you there. But that one position is, what name do you have for yourself? Among those sponsors, people that can speak for you. And that's, you must start building it, playing it from the beginning of your career. But some are not even aware. That's the problem. Things that affect our life that we're not even aware of is the problem. As simple as you on the floor, you've said something negative about your boss. Someone that needs to get help from the boss will bring it to the boss. Why are you not aware that everybody is playing to make sure, so did you say it? Yes. So when did you say it? So many people have sincerely, gone wrong by their associations, by their communications, but somehow they said, where I came from, they said the wall. They said they get ears, ogiri, oleti. So bosses were always there. So when you want to play that politics, you must be good at it. You must learn how to play it. It's not something you can avoid. So, but most times, because you didn't take it as PO, politics 101 in school, 102 in school, and people don't talk about it. So what people do out there is to say no to politics. It's there. In the family, it's there.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
In your family. We are playing politics. Most times you see children sometimes moving close to their parents more, and some say, Mommy, I care about you, Mommy. Mommy start having this soft spot. That's politics. Even
on our birthday, we plan to buy biscuits. Now go and buy wine.
Okay, on your birthday, some people are doing something extra.
Yes.
And that extra thing is politics.
So the question now is, so seeing how it's inevitable,
Okay.
right? How does one play it in a way that you're not doing too much and you're not pulling others down in a bid to find favor?
No, you don't have to. I don't have to pull others down to find
Because a
favor.
lot of people feel like that's the way.
That's a firefighter politics. That's a dirty politics. You know, politics such that I call it 360 degrees politics, whereby you're influencing up, down, horizontal. You're influencing your boss, you're influencing your colleagues, you're influencing down, and you're doing your job well. That's politics. So when they're talking among them, they mention that everybody likes you at shop floor, but they know you're good on your job. But when you talk about executive also, they think about you. And it must be deliberate. It won't just happen. You must learn how to do it. You must build that skill. And the more you get better at it, the more you more, it's just like a skill now. It's not a trait. Someone say, and some people are just good at it. It's a lie. Some might easily, because of their social skills, they easily, can easily learn the political intelligence skill. But however, it's a skill. You can master it. Just because we've been running away from it, a lot of people running from it. And that's why we've not mastered it till date. Okay, so have you consciously learned about playing original politics before? I've read so many books about that.
Really?
Yeah, you get so many books, learnings, but people will not just scroll it. Because just feel that it's influencing stakeholders, making sure sponsors, key stakeholders, I call it, let's name them, they call it strategic relationship management. Maybe that sounds more executive. Yeah,
so I think the problem is the way they tag it. Because a lot of times you see, what's this thing they call it? In the business world, they say they're kissing ass or they are yes men. So they give it these bad words that make people feel like, no, this is a bad thing. And, religious people will be like, no, I can never do this. I would rather just stick to my job. And like you said, people will say my job will speak for me. So I think it's the way they tag it, right? Because if not that we're talking about it now, like you mentioned, a lot of people don't even believe that this is a topic that should be had because they feel like this is a bad thing. Why are we talking about politics?
It's a topic that will cut you off from the top. It's a topic that will not let you get there. You'll be a pawn all through your career. They play you around, especially when you are good. They'll keep you there, but you won't be the king. You will not be at the top because of that thing. Because executive trust is there. Can your boss trust you? If he cannot trust you, forget it. So from beginning, we must know that we must not run away from it, and that's my concern. I feel let's start learning how to play it. And not the dirty one. The dirty one is pull. I don't have to pull some. Where I came from, they said,
this guy is big enough.
I don't know why.
The
I keep
spirit
remembering Yoruba.
Yeah.
Don't
worry, I'm here to help you translate. This guy is big enough.
It's big enough for anybody to. So that's basically what it is. So I feel it's now time that people should start learning how to do it.
So another question is, if in an organization there is one person who knows how to play this game, the game of politics, and not in a bad way, right? Someone who knows how to relate with the bosses, knows what to do per time, knows how to, communicate. They just feel so happy seeing that person around. Or this person, there's just something about this person and then the person is not all that excellent at the job. He gets the job done, but
excellent. What do you mean by all that?
He's not excellent at the job. He's just good. Let's put it that way. And then there's another person who doesn't really care, right? Believes that my work will speak for me. I get to the office, but the person is excellent. The person does the job well and even a little beyond, without maybe extra effort to please the bosses and all, just comes, is focused, does the job and goes. No extra communication. No, in fact, the person is avoiding any kind of relationships with the bosses. In that kind of situation, who is most likely to be mentioned for better opportunities in stakeholders' meetings?
Bosses will find a way of growing the other person.
By other person now, you mean?
The person that is good.
Okay.
They will grow, because that person has, there are two capitals, performance capital and relationship capital. Let's imagine you need 50-50 to get to the top. So you need 100%. So you're telling me that one person scored 50-50 in one, and now the other person scored 25 in performance. That's 75 already. The other person is scoring maybe 0 in relationship, but 150 in performance. Of course. What we just do is to look for ways to raise that person's performance. Okay, so who do you want to send when you want to close a deal? The person that knows how to build the relationship, that knows when it gets to the gates, how it can get in. The person that when it gets in, it makes you... It's not the person that can speak English. How many doctors do you think win election? Who they going to meet? I really don't remember about the politics. Are they the bull in those days? Anybody, no matter how you speak, for you to win, you must go because that person knows how to get the influence. So when you want to, if you see marketing guys and companies and all, who closes the deal? Who gets entrance? Someone that has the influence. No matter how good you are, I've done PhD, I've done everything. PhD can become poverty in high dimension for you if you don't know how to navigate your way. So there's no way you can do it. It's just a normal. It's a fantastic skill. I've ever seen whereby people that know politics get into the place and bring people that are intelligent to come and talk.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's true. I think it reminds me of a saying that in the setting of the world, the C students work for the B students work for the A student who creates the job, something like that.
Okay, so if I get what you're saying, you see, when you just think about it, people that had first class in school and someone that had 2-1. 2-1 that is social, first class that is not social. 2-1 that is social will go far in life more than first class that is not social.
Yes, and would even employ the first class.
Excellent. So that's social skills. It's what makes you get to the top.
So business is not just about your performance. Relationship is also important.
Because you've not seen relationship as part of performance. It's part of performance. So it's not really about... So when you see it differently, is the problem. Is the major problem. When you say, I just want to do my job. Your job is 2. The job is that JD they give you and managing your leaders. Those are your job.
Because this is a very important conversation to have, because a lot of people wouldn't have seen it this way. A lot of people will have the idea that I'm not one of those who would do too much.
Yeah, because...
If you see me, you see me. If you not see me, I'll do my job and I'll go.
And because people have been mentored by people that, that are ignorant about the subject. So people talk down and say, kill politics. Come on. It's in your house. It's in your family. It's in your church. Church politics is worse. Oh, goodness. You don't want us to go into that. So if you can play church politics, you can play any politics in the world. So in the house of God, there's politics. In your family, there's politics. How can I say no to something that lives with you? It's part of us and we come to stay forever. We just need to learn how to navigate and use it to our advantage.
So I think another thing that I've learned from this conversation is that politics is not always bad.
It's not bad at all.
And I think when we start seeing it that way, then we understand that sometimes that is, not even sometimes, it's part of what we need to do. Getting
influence and getting people speak on your behalf is not bad. That's politics. That's definition. Getting sponsors, stakeholders, key guys to always love you, to speak on your behalf, it's not bad. So even when I do well, those people that matter, do they like me? Will they speak good about me at the top? If they won't, then your job will never speak for you, because I said earlier, put microphone in your job and let it speak on your behalf. If your job alone can speak for you, let's start talking.
And then you will not run. Well, okay. I mean, this has been an eye-opener, to be honest, because a lot of times we're tempted to see people who, although yes, there's, like you said, there's dirty politics. So a lot of times people overdo, and in this, so in a situation where they're like, okay, let me just ask this now. Let's say they are a team of 5 persons, and they were supposed to get a job done. Something now happens, and maybe one person in that group scattered the whole plan. And then when you're being asked, you, as someone who wants to be honest, knowing that if you throw that person under the bus, if you say exactly what happened, that person might lose his job. Do you have to...
That's not politics.
Okay.
No, that's politics. You see, we're on a project. So if we're on a project and one person is not doing... So the question is that what's the culture of that? What's your work charter? What's your team charter? So on a project, we have rules. Come, you do your part, I do my part. You didn't do your part, then the boss says what happens. Then you didn't do his part. The problem we have is culture. That's not politics. Say you didn't do your part. It's not politics. If what you do will affect me, and when from my president, I've done my part. Who didn't do his part? Oh, okay. Who didn't eat their food? We give us food to eat. Whose food is this? Who they say is your food? So it is part of the world that people are very diffuse.
Yeah, they're entitled.
We are not specific. We believe that if you are treated by a friend, you should not say what is right. Then we are trained liars. Because at the end of the day, you've lied and you're giving query. In fact, they flushed the whole team. And you're saying, oh, I have a friend. Because of my friend, I was fired. No, that's ignorant. That's foolishness. So if you're given a job, you've done your part, work on your friend to do his part. And tell your friend if you don't do your part. And they say, who made us fail? Well, you didn't do your part. We cannot force you. But if I've done my part, I should be promoted. But talking about you and in front of my boss, I can say it in front of you, you didn't do your part. And that's not politics. People name such politics, hey, you hate, do your work now. But that's even not politics. That's not what politics is. Being sincere and telling you about what you didn't do or no. So you reported me. Of course now, you broke the company rule and they're asking who stole the money. And I saw you steal the money. And they want to fire all of us. And I said, you stole the money. It's not politics. That's not politics now. They not fired you. Of course. You broke there. They should fire you. So that's not politics.
Okay, so what if in a situation where there are two employees and one of them, maybe the manager did something to one of them that wasn't exactly fair. And this person is now telling the other employee that, what this person did to me is not fair and blah, 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 and this and that and that. Let's say you are the other employee. What would you do in that situation? Because to you, it's like they're gossiping your manager.
So there's a law. I tell people that are in career, there's a law. Don't complain to someone that can solve your problem. That's all. Ask yourself, person you're telling, can it solve the problem? So why are you telling the person? Okay, to soak it and to do what with it? So why talk to a tree? That your colleague is a tree. You can't solve the problem. So only speak to people that can solve the problem. And if you cannot, then keep your mouth shut. But all this G stuff, this happened to who? Then it will bounce back. There's no way to get you.
Once again, thank you, Mr. Chibola.
You're welcome.
Because, I would say that I was the host, but at the same time, I was the biggest learner from all of this. And one of the things that I think that I've learned from this is that your job entails both performance and relationship. Don't just say you just want to get the job done. And then when other people are getting better opportunities, you get angry. It's more about relationships than even your performance, because relationships can take you where your performance cannot take you.
Yeah, they post you to Shaki instead of London. As promotion, you don't do well.
All right, that said, it's been another exciting episode of Ceed Chat, and this is proudly sponsored by Ceed Academy. If you want to get more of this, do well to follow us on our social media handle at We Are Ceed Academy. And also, we are on YouTube, so click the subscribe button, like, share. Someone somewhere, maybe on your contact list, will want to learn this, so do not hoard it, right? Till we come your way again next time, it's been Ceed Chat, and I'm Blessings Musugu. Bye.
Ceed Academy, your growth partner.